some of the following questions would go, can you make it go away? How quickly can you make this go away? Because sometimes we get so disconnected with what the promise of the brand is and what the actual delivery is. So I'm going to take you on a whirlwind tour today, just quickly show you the highlights. I've curated what I think you need to know and what we can teach you in 60 minutes. Obviously, I'm condensing like a whole week worth of content in an hour, right? So I'm probably going to fail at that. But if you love what you experience here, please make sure, I'm going to give you Leilani's details later. Please make sure to hit her up and she's going to hook you up with any future training. We have some opportunities coming up. So I'm going to quickly ask, I would love for you to have a sheet of paper, like in South Africa, we call it an A4. In the USA, and we've got a few people from the USA, we call it a letter size paper. So just have a sheet of paper, because I'm going to let you do an activity a little bit later, which will be both fun and send you away with some different perspectives. So while you grab that, I'm just going to quickly share my iPad. Let's quickly get the share going. Marley, if you would be so kind just to tell me, once I've shared this, if you can both see my screen and you can still see me as well.
At the moment, it's just a black screen, but I'm sure you still...
It's getting there. It's getting there. Yes, it is getting there.
I can see
Alrighty.
both the screen and you.
All right. Excellent. Excellent. And this is hopefully going to nail some of those questions that you had earlier. So let's just start with, what is a customer journey map? I like to define a customer journey map as a story map. I think often I've seen customer journey maps that is very process orientated. I've seen customer journey maps that look like architectural blueprints. I like to look at it as a story, because I think stories inspire change. Stories inspire connection. So if you think about a customer journey map, and I've just put the image there, we think a customer journey map goes like this, right? It's nice and linear, and we've got some stops along the way, but it never goes like that, right? It's a lot more like this. It's non-linear. There's some stops. The customer sometimes does what they want to do, although we drive them to more cost-effective channels, right? They do what they want to do. And they have some goals, anticipated goals, when they get into this journey with you. And then there's some outcomes. And sometimes those outcomes are desirable outcomes. Sometimes they're not. The big thing that I think most brands forget is that people come into the journey with a perception of a promise, right? And that promise was shaped by either previous experiences, it was shaped by the billboards, the marketing materials, it was shaped by what they heard on the call center, what they heard on the TV. And the thing about promises, I think our brains are like hardwired for listening to promises, right? And if someone says to you, I will call you on Thursday, 2:00, boy, oh boy, if they don't call you on Thursday, 2:00, right, somehow your brain has a way of remembering that. So we're hardwired for these promises. So that's really a journey map for me, is a storyline that's sometimes non-linear, that helps you understand what the customer sees. And again, the reason why we need to do this is because we've kind of become disconnected. We've become tech junkies, right? We want to automate, robotize, do whatever we can, just not to be able to deal with the customer at scale. I'm not saying it's not challenging dealing with the customer at scale, but sometimes we make this sacrifice. We sacrifice human interaction, human connection for technology, and then we get these very cold interactions. Marilee will tell you, we've got this wonderful video clip of a customer. We worked for a large banking group, and we asked the customer, what is the interactions like? And they said, oh, you're a cold bank. You're very efficient when I can do things on the app, but you're a very, very cold bank. right? And that's not necessarily something that any leader wants to hear or be proud of, because that's not what they stand for, right? So I'll tell you why I like customer journey maps and why I like taking this methodology of walking in the shoes of the customer and designing the journey, because I think you can then be true to brand, right? You can be true to your promise. Otherwise, you leave it just to chance. Hey, we leave it to chance. Just maybe we hit some and we miss some. If you design it to be repeatable and predictable and consistent, you make it so much easier for your customer and you make it super easy for your employees. I will put a challenge out there. I want you to go back into your business environment tomorrow, and I want you to go and ask at least 5 people, what is our brand promise? And how do you deliver on that? I want you to write down those 5 answers that you get and really compare them and think about them. Think about whether that brand promise is clear to people, whether everyone gave you the same answer, because I can bet you in this group, how many are we now? We're just over 100 people. In this group, if you ask that question to 5 people, right, we're going to get a lot of answers back. And some of those answers will not necessarily be the same, right? Also, if we design customer journeys, we can make sure that we get a specific outcome, that we set the goal and we get the outcome. What is the outcome that you want for your business? Let's quickly just in the chat, grab the chat. Tell me what you want. If you're going to do a customer journey map, what's the outcome that you want? Oh, and there will be prizes for some of the best answers. Best and funny answers. And Lilani has the flu, so she will have the single right to decide whose answers are the best, right? Best experience for the customer. Consistent quality, flexible delivery, satisfaction, happy and engaged customers, loyalty. Yeah, absolutely. You want people to spread good stories about you. You want people to feel proud of your brand as what you feel, right? The one thing, let me just quickly talk about, you can talk about price, and we've built phenomenal business cases for customer experience. I've had executives cry over the business cases that I've had the pleasure of building. Yes, I take a roll of toilet paper when I go and present it. But it's really, you can do all the smart actuarial calculations and put together the models. But if we get to the core of this, the very, very core of this, when you interact with the customer, you take their time. That is their most precious resource. They don't know how much they've got. And I was saying to someone the other day, I had a terrible dinner experience, right? Now, you can probably guess that I'm quite verbal when I have terrible experiences, because I feel it's my duty to give someone an opportunity to redeem themselves if the experience didn't go according to the brand promise. And I say to the person, it's not about getting a free meal. It's not about getting to dessert, right? It's about my experience, my memory, my time. I can never have the time again. Now I have to go to another dinner to try and wipe out the horrible experience of this dinner, right? And when you get to menopause, you don't have fucking a lot of time, right? So you want to make the most of it. So all I can say to all the restaurants in 100-kilometer radius of me, please don't fuck with me. I'm in menopause and I want to have an incredible dinner experience. So it's about the outcome and it's about the time that I cannot have back. So if you look at the basics of the business case, you want to win heart, you want to win mind, and of course you want wallet. Of course you want wallet. Of course you want to grow your business. Of course you want to sell more products. You want to upsell, cross-sell, whatever sell you want to do, right? But before you get to that, before you get to that, you've got to stick to your promise. You've got to live your brand with integrity. And that is what customer journey maps enable you to do, is to live your brand with integrity, to make sure that the brand lives up to the promise in everything you do, whether it is your robo chat or your app or your website or some ugly form, if you still want to send a form, right? That it lives up to the brand promise. Okay, so now let me tell you how to do customer journey maps. And I've given you the highlights here. So if you want to do a customer journey map and you go into a dark office in your building with only people that work for you, you're doing it wrong. All right. Palaraman, you're smiling at me. If you're doing that, you're doing it wrong. All right. You need to watch customers. And I'm just kidding. I'm just joking with you, right? You might be doing it 100% right. But you need to watch the customer. You need to be the customer. You need to hear the customer. Get your hands dirty and get out there and talk to them. I love, and I did say this in a previous mini workshop, I love getting the angry customers. Why? Sylvia, you heard me say that. I love getting the angry customers because they have spent so much time. I'm waving to my daughter. They've spent so much time fixing the problem, right? Because every dinner and every engagement they have with friends, they go, if I was the CEO, I would have done this and I would have done that. So they've generated, it's impossible for them not to want to fix a problem where they were the victim of the brand, right? So the angry ones are awesome to speak to. Then you want to chart that map, right? You want to plot how does it go linearly, in a linear fashion, and how does it go when it's not linear? You also want to combine science and imagination, right? This is about the process, but it's also not about the process. It's a lot about emotions and human behavior. And then I see a lot of brands getting carried away, right? And now we need to automate everything. And I said here, land travel before you do space travel. Land travel, go where your customer goes before you get too smart and too technologically advanced. All right, so then how not to do this, right? Sit in your ivory tower. If you do customer journey mapping and you stay in your building and you do it in a really small, exclusive group of people, you are going to not get the real view of the customer. You are going to get something that is your imagination, that is your view. Do not draw up a process map and call the file name a customer journey map, right? I believe people will be punished if they do that. All right, then the next thing is do not get a UX designer to plot page navigation and call that the customer journey map, right? That's also not a customer journey map. And then don't do any shit in a spreadsheet, right? If you do a customer journey map in a spreadsheet and you present that to your executives, maybe they'll get a little bit excited, but you won't have their attention for very long. It really is important to do storytelling and to show the story according to the customer. I love using images. I love using video material. I love using phone calls. I remember, and I see Steph is in the room. Steph, you might vaguely remember, this is about, 14 years, maybe even 15 or 16 years ago. Steph is going like this. We had a case where a lot of people were surrendering their life policies and their risk insurance because times were tough. This was 2008, right? And the company we were both working for, they launched a new radio campaign that said, whatever you do in these tough times, do not surrender your policy. Phone us. We are going to help you. We are going to give you a payment plan. It is so important not to cancel your insurance, right? And we plotted this journey. And what we found is that phone line where they invited people to phone, that phone line was dead. Nobody ever answered, right? And 14 minutes into this call that we recorded, it played Bridge Over Troubled Waters. And we made the executives listen to this entire thing. And they go, okay, we get your point. We get your point. Someone just messed up this once. I go, no, someone messes up all the time if you don't walk the journey that the customer walks. Do you really want them to hear big bridge over troubled waters when they're about to surrender their policy? We have this amazing call to action. We have this stunning campaign. There's total fuck up when they phone, when they take their time and their money to phone. Right. So Steph is laughing. She remembers, right? We have all the techniques to embarrass executives and to make them sit up straight and do this. And really, one of those questions were, how do you get buy-in? You show them what the customer sees, right? And you will find some embarrassing stories, especially if you do this stuff on a Monday morning between 10 and 12, right? You're going to see some embarrassing things happening, especially on a Monday. All right, so let me get you ready for the recipe. Who's ready for the recipe? Okay, thank you, Richard. That's all the enthusiasm that I needed to see there. Fantastic. All right, so the recipe. First of all, let me just undo that. Okay, first of all, I want to just quickly cover some lingo here. Right, so these little blocks here, I call them moments in the journey. Right, think of them as we're going on a road trip, we're stopping off at this town. Right, the town might be filling in a form, sending us the form, calling our call center, listening to our interactive voice system. Right, so each of those are moments with the customer. There's also this thing that Jan Carlson from an airline group. I forgot the airline. This is part of menopause that you get this mushy brain, right? But he coined this term moment of truth, right? In that moment, there we go. Thank you, Stephen. I love you. Yes, Scandinavian Airlines. So this moment of truth where you make a decision, either you stay or you go, right? I make a decision about your brand. Am I going to stay? Am I going to go? So not all moments are equal. You want to really focus on designing the moments where there's high emotion and quite high volume. As a business, if you look at the moments and give them extra love where there's high volume, you know that you're going to get immediate benefit for your business, right? So decision-making moments where the emotions are high and moments that are happening at scale. So when you do customer journey mapping, you go and identify these moments, right? You identify them. But before you do that, I love going to the end frame and I say, well, when a customer has been on this journey with my brand, what do I want that end moment to be? Is that a dinner table conversation? Is that just a feeling of bliss? Is that, yes, I bought the car, or yes, I got the insurance. Yes, I have peace of mind. What is that end frame? Because if you go and you spend time on identifying that end frame, you then reverse engineer the goal you had. You reverse engineer the outcome that you wanted. All right, so then once we've identified the end frame, and also I'll show you some examples, but when we do customer journey mapping, we don't do words, right? We draw pictures. So I will say, okay, there's my dinner table. And once you've been to this workshop, I hope that you have a little giggle. And Richard is going to sit at the dinner table this evening and he's going to go, oh, I went to a workshop today and Chantal dropped 5 F-bombs. I cannot believe she's crazy. So I draw my end frame there. That's him sitting at the dinner table. Now, I'm going to ask you to back up and go to the start of the journey. Right, so now we are going to say, what is this frame? What is my start frame? How do people get into this journey? And then I'm going to show you a trick, right? And the trick is, once you say what got people into this journey, you back up one frame. Let me give you a good example. People will say to me, oh, our journey starts when a customer sends us a form that they filled in. And I go, that's not where it starts, right? What happened before they filled in the form? Oh, they went to our website and they downloaded the form and then they printed the form. God forbid that anyone still uses those kind of forms, but just as a good example. I worked with a group of retail grocery chain here in South Africa, and I said to them, where does your journey start? And they said, Oh, when a customer enters the store and they walk through the landing strip, I go, that sounds all very fancy. And I thought landing strips were just at the airport. But that's bullshit. That's not where the journey starts. The journey starts when a mother of 3 children gets home and there's no milk in the fridge. That's where the journey starts, right? And then got to fight through traffic, got to find parking. I park next to gym mom in her size 30 gym pants with perfect hair and perfect makeup. And I'm driving an old car. And then finally, I get to the fucking landing strip of the store. And now, really, the piece that you have control over starts. So by the time I have a meltdown at the checkout counter, it's not just about the fact that your milk and bread is in the furthest corner and I've navigated my way with 3 screaming children through the store. It's about my inferiority of parking next to gym mom, of my old car, of the fact that I didn't plan this properly. And you'll never hear that in a survey. All you survey junkies. Yeah, you'll never hear that in a survey, right? Because I'm not going to share that with anyone. I'm too fucking embarrassed, right? I'm just going to complain about the products on the shelves. You're never going to hear my real journey. You're never going to hear my real story. All right. So once we've got the start and all of the frames in this movie, I'm going to show you how I unpack them, and I'm sharing with you only the most important bits. It's really important for each of these moments that you identify what is the desired emotion? How do you want someone to feel in that moment, right? Then you're going to think about what are their expectations, the customer's expectations, not your expectations of them, their expectations of you. That might be shaped by the brand promise. Then you're going to say, if I exceed those expectations, how can I create moments of magic for my customer? And there's this beautiful quote, give them what they never thought was possible, right? Sometimes, and we're not doing that every time, because you cannot build a business based on exceeding expectations in every moment for every customer, but you need to have this handy when someone gets in a fix and they can create those moments of magic. Then, probably the biggest benefit of customer journey mapping, right? You don't need to pay a cent for this, but you need to pay attention now, is identifying the moments of misery. What is the misery that can potentially happen in this moment? And the reason why this is incredibly powerful is most people, most call center agents, most customer service professionals that deal with customers, they get trained on the process and the standard operating procedure. Nobody ever trains them on the shit that can go wrong. Can you imagine how empowered you can make your people if you train them on the shit that can go wrong? Olga, you're smiling at me. The 10 things that can possibly go wrong in this moment, and you train them and you desensitize them so that when one of those things go wrong, people don't go like a deer in the headlights and go, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, I'm going to get fired if I don't handle this correctly. They must go, yes, I've been waiting for this, right? I'm trained for this. I am like a Navy fucking SEAL. I'm so ready for this. I've been waiting for this thing to go wrong for the last 3 months of being in this new job. That's how you want people to react to that. And that is incredibly powerful. So it's your customer journey mapping is not just for fixing the processes or building a new system. It is an incredible tool for training people on delight and on disappointment, on what are those moments of magic that you can create, what are the moments of misery that you can create. And then to bring you back to the brand promise, how does the brand promise apply in this moment? Most brands, most of my customers say, oh, we stand for making it easy for our customers, right? Then they send them a legal letter that's 14 pages with language that no human on this earth, unless you've been to law school, no human will understand what those 14 pages mean. And at the end of the 14 pages, they want someone to sign their life away. And they go, oh, we make it so easy for our customers. And they really get held accountable to their brand promise unless things go wrong. Unless things go wrong. And that's why legislation like treating customers fairly, know your customer, that's why those things are implemented so that companies and brands can be held accountable. All right, so we've got those dimensions: emotion, what's the expectation, what's magic, what's misery, and how does the brand promise apply. Now, you can put whatever you want in this journey map, and I would suggest things like identifying the processes, who's the moment owner, what system applies here, what are the KPIs that's going to tell me that I'm both achieving operational goals and I'm achieving customer experience goals in this moment. So these journey maps, and I saw some of your questions, they get gigantic, they get big, and they have a lot of detail. And there's something called customer journey fatigue, and it's real, people. That's why we time box it so that we don't get customer journey fatigue, because unfortunately, your innovation team, your design team, they will become blind when they have enough customer journey fatigue, and they'll miss things and they'll not be able to innovate. That's why it's important that you do the design in sprints, you leave it for a little bit, and then you come back to it and you do another iteration of it. All right, is this helpful? Give me a sign. I'm talking a lot. Is this helpful? Okay, I think everybody quickly get up. Let's quickly get up. Let's quickly get up. Everybody get up. If your ass is quiet for too long, your oxygen flow gets constricted. Okay, let's just turn around 5 times to the one side and 5 times to the other side. Okay, 5 times. There we go. Okay, and then we're going to do 3 jumps and jump and jump. Okay, Mira, I see you laugh at me, but you did everything with me. Amazing. Okay, now you've got a customer journey map. Okay, amazing. Please do not let it get yellow and curl on the edges and become wallpaper on a wall somewhere. Please. Now is the time to raise your hand and go, I solemnly swear that I will not let all this innovation be locked up in a spreadsheet somewhere, or stay as an image somewhere, or God forbid, die in a PowerPoint pack. Okay? I promise you I'll come and get you. Don't let it die in a PowerPoint pack. Okay, so now's the time for spreadsheets. Okay, so if you want to go on to action, you need to apply rigor. You need to have a proper project plan. Every piece of innovation that comes out of that map needs to go into a project plan. It needs to be prioritized. You need to plot the results that you're looking for, and then you need to get those results, right? We keep on saying, how do we get executive buy-in? How do we convince our executives? You don't have to. Fucking show them the results and they will be convinced. Show them the results and they will queue. They will think you are incredible. Aside from getting paid holidays, leave, and bonuses, right? They will just give you more and more to do. Okay, I never got like paid holidays. I did get bonuses and a bit of leave, but you know what I mean, right? So don't fight that fight so hard. How am I going to prove this? How am I going to prove this? Show them the results and stop focusing on how am I going to prove this? Because once you've showed them the results, they will come queuing. And the amazing thing is, people love successful people, right? So if you have a case, a record of a successful implementation, how you've transformed this journey, you will have a following, and people will want to learn from you. People will want to surround you and do the same. And I think that can be so inspirational from a leadership perspective. And that's what we train in all of our programs, is how to make this viral, because this is not rocket science, right? These are the basics. Okay, and then you track your results. You track your results, and as a leader, one of the things we teach in our programs is storytelling. You need to tell the story of how you've achieved these results. All right, so now I get to show you what some of these journey maps look like, and then we are going to do a little exercise. So this is a journey map that we did for this persona, and her name was Nolu, and she's buying her first car, right? So here we've got some personas for the sales consultant that's selling the car. You can see that's a very typical car salesman there. We've got Vivian. She's a banker, and she's a fantastic banker. We have got Paul. He's another banker, right? And then we have got Pam, and she is a insurance broker. And what we've done with this customer journey map here is we have included all of these characters, and we have traversed the story of someone buying a car, then needing to finance that car with a bank, then getting insurance from the bank. And this is a case study that we use in one of our training programs. And you can see we've done it very visually, right? So here we start, Nolu's searching online. She's looking at some options for cars. Then she goes for a test drive. You can see the car salesman is petrified. She's obviously not such a seasoned driver. There's some quotation. He then connects her with some of the banks. She speaks to the banks, and she gets an offer on financing the car. So this is a very visual customer journey map that goes through the stages of discovery, comparing some options, and then finally, she is driving away in her car, and she can tell friends about this incredible experience, and all of a sudden she's got freedom and she can do things and go places. All right, so that's one version there of a customer journey map. We also do some really visual journey maps with Lego, where we model the actual journey of the customer, and we take these personas and we make them do things. We make them hand paper from the one frame to the next. And that just helps us really understand that some of these problems cannot be solved in a spreadsheet. It cannot be solved in a spreadsheet. You need to actually model this. You need to work with more than just pieces of paper. And that's led us to incredible innovation in the financial services space. I think so many times we have the banks and the insurance companies telling us, oh, we suffer. It's such a compliance-driven industry, and that's why we don't innovate. And I know that is the truth, but it's not the whole truth. It's also an excuse not to innovate, not to really bring the heart back into business. All right, so you ready for a little exercise? Okay, so grab those pieces of paper, and I'm going to show you something that you can do with your teams as well. Right. So you're going to take your piece of paper, right? You need a loose sheet, not in a book. And Marily, I just want to see, am I pinned? I'm going to spotlight, let me spotlight me. There we go. Okay. So you're going to take a piece of paper like this, right? And you are going to fold with me. Okay. We're going to fold it once. We're going to fold it another time. Okay, your piece of paper looks like this now. Okay, then we're going to fold it 2 more times. You fold it like this, and you fold it like this. Everybody with me? All right, and now you fold it open. Okay, and if you look at it, you will have some blocks, and it's going to be like a spreadsheet. Like a spreadsheet. All right, everybody with me? Now, you're going to fold it once in half and another time in half. And now you need to carefully follow my instructions. This is also an exercise in listening. Okay, now you will see that there is a closed corner, right? The closed corner, you're going to tear out the little square in the middle. Okay, and if for some reason you don't do this, you probably want to switch your camera off because you're going to look like an ass. Okay, now you're going to fold it open, and you're going to have something that looks like a game board. All right, everybody happy? You got your game board? Stunning, Richard. Stunning, Stephen. I love that. Steph, fantastic. Okay. And what you can see, I've done on this pre-folded one. So this is my first corner, and I've made the block after that like start. That's where your journey is going to start, right? And it's going to run all around here And then this will be your end frame. Now, the piece that you've torn out, okay, so that's your template. Start in the second block. You're going to go all the way around, and then you're going to end in this block. Okay, you got the template. Yeah, Madly, I'm so glad mine worked out as well. Otherwise, I would have had to drop another few F-bombs. Okay, the piece you've torn out. What I want you to do with this piece, I want you to think about your brand. And on this piece that you've torn out, I want you to write one emotion that you want customers to feel when they interact with your brand. What is the overarching emotion that people must feel when they interact with your brand? And once you've chosen that emotion, I want you to very quickly, we got 5 minutes, right? And I want some people to share. I want you to follow the method I've just taught you by doing your customer journey map. You're going to start. How do people get into the journey with you? Once you've identified your end, sorry, let me start again. First, going to say, what is that end frame? What do you want them to do once they finish the journey with you? Then you're going to go to the start frame. Where does it start? You're going to ask what happens just before they enter this journey with you. And then you're going to complete the blocks as if you are going on a road trip, watching, get into the pocket of the customer and watch what they do. And you identify in each of these blocks, and you'll see there isn't so many blocks, but identify what that journey looks like. And for that, I'm going to give you 5 minutes, right? I'm going to play you some music. You can draw pictures. You can write words. We've got very limited time today. Usually we spend a whole freaking week on this, but we got very little time today. So take these 4 minutes and complete that journey. And then I would like to hear from a few of you, just a bit of sharing on what you found. All right, everybody happy? Give me a sign. Yes, Ahmed, I see you smile.
I have a question.
Go for it.
Just again, what is this blank?
So the blank, the piece that you tore out in the middle, right? I want you to write an emotion here, the emotion that your brand's going to evoke, right? So give you an example. For Brandlove, I want people to feel delight. Okay. I want people to feel delight. I want them to giggle, right? I want them to have fun. That is the emotion that we want to evoke. And then you are going to do your journey. And while you do your journey, you're going to ask in these moments, are we doing enough to have people feel delight, to have people feel joy when they interact with us? Happy with the answer? All righty. Okay, 4 minutes. All righty. So wherever you got to, just give me a sense. I know we've got some very experienced people in the room that have done very advanced customer journey maps, but give me a sense, 1 or 2 people just to quickly share their experience. How was it in setting that target emotion? And then how was it to unpack that map? Anyone, just raise your hand, unmute yourself. Go for it, Stephen. Go for it.
Hi, Chantal. This has been brilliant, by the way. I think it made it so easy to actually say, I've got this number of boxes to fill, this number of stages, write them down, and then what emotion do I want? And already I'm having a strategy session on Thursday for my business, and already I can see how I can be saying, how do we create these emotions? Are we creating these emotions? Are we focused on the end goal? So it's been incredibly helpful. Thank you.
Oh, Stephen, that makes me, that's what I live for, right? It makes me so happy to hear. And please let me know how your strat session goes, right? Because all of a sudden, if you say, listen, I want our customers to feel confident when they interact with us. that opens up a whole myriad of how can we make people feel confident? Is it about the language we speak? Is it about how we empower them to make just wise decisions in that moment? All the best with that, Stephen. I really look forward. Please pop me an email and tell me how it went. All right. Anyone else? Please, Roma, go for it. Go for it. Roma, just unmute yourself.
Yes,
There we go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. We can hear you loud and clear.
I'm sure Jean-Yann is much better than me. I just tried to put a word, 2 words. I put we care, which is an emotion for a bank. Because at the base, I think trust is the most important factor when you choose a bank. Because you have to trust the people who are handling your money, and you wouldn't go just by chance to put your money elsewhere.
Yeah,
and
I love that.
It's a big challenge in itself if we say that we care, because we need to care directly, and indirectly is more difficult for people to see what they are doing and how it's impacting.
Absolutely.
I have a very bad
Absolutely.
connection, but I'm just trying to.
We're hearing you beautifully. And I want to just say thank you for that share. And I think, again, you sitting with thousands of employees that work for your bank, and each of them care, but sometimes they need a journey, and sometimes they need a little bit of permission to care. So you already have it. You already have the ingredients. It's just about mixing it in the right way. So I'm looking forward to what your journey is going to hold. And with that, folks, I cannot believe an hour's gone so quickly. I have serious separation anxiety here from you, but I want to just say thank you. And just before we go, I do want to tell you, I'm going to quickly bring up just a QR code for you. We are running some incredible training over the next month. And Leilani is here to make sure that she assists you in the case where you are interested in enrolling for that training. And what we've done is, I'm just going to bring up Leilani's QR code, right? So if you scan that from WhatsApp, you're going to be connected with Leilani on WhatsApp. And if you are interested in any of our training courses, she can make sure that she works out a special deal for you just because you've been to this workshop. And the modules, the 5 modules that's coming up, the one is about CX leadership and really unleashing the leader in you so that you can move to the next level. Then we're talking about CX teams, how to really develop and build the capacity of CX teams. We also have a full day on employee journey design. And if you're saying, I'm not responsible for the employee journey, you will learn all the principles in a lot more detail than what we've covered today. Then on 9 July, we're doing CX metrics, measurement, and ROI. And for the people who got excited about that business case and me talking about the actuaries working on that model and crunching some numbers in spreadsheets, if you find that sexy, you're going to love this day. And then on 23 July, we have a full day dedicated to driving CX change and activation. So if any of this revs your engine, then please hit up Leilani, and she will make sure that she shares the schedule with you. She will make sure that she shares a proper discount and a package with you. And I would obviously love to spend more time with you. So 2 opportunities. Connect with Leilani, and she can get you on those registered on those training courses. And then next month, we're having another mini workshop. And I actually think we might run that next one from Ireland, but we'll keep you posted. And I will obviously drink my way through a few pubs just so I can pick up an Irish accent, so I can try and dazzle you with an Irish accent. And with that, thank you to my wonderful team, Marilee and Ruthie and Leilani, straight from bed. Marilee, you've got a hand up.
Yeah, Chantal, just the QR code, if you can please share. Are you sharing it here or are we sharing it with them later?
Oh, I brought it up on the screen, but you know what? You're all going to get an email and we'll make sure that the QR code is in there if you want to connect with Leilani. All right. Leilani can also leave a number. Leilani, just put your number there in the chat and people can connect with you on WhatsApp. All right. Fantastic. It has been such a pleasure. And I hope to see you next month. And let's play out with something a little interesting. My true wish for you is that we'll change the world and make it so much better.
Chantal, we're not hearing your sound, but we can see it's a cool song.
Ah, there we go.
There we go.
Tatu gets a prize. Tatu, we're going to hit you up with something.
Oh, we miss you, my man.
Tatu is a champion. Tatu, Leilani's going to hit you up with something. I don't know what you want. T-shirt, hat, we'll hook you up with something. You are a champ, man. You are a champ. Alrighty, everyone.
He's a brand warrior, Chantal.
Is he a brand warrior?
Yeah.
Oh, Tatu, bless you, bless you. That is a brand warrior there. Thanks for joining us, Tatu. I'm proud of you, man. Take care, everyone. Have a lovely day. Bye-bye.